Hello, St. Joan of Arc families. Today is the third Sunday of Lent. Let's start our celebration with a centering breath. Take a big breath in and let it out, and let's begin. Today we're thinking about faith, which invites our question. Let's read it together. How can we root ourselves in faith? To start thinking about this question, I'd like to share a thought from James Allison, who says, faith is relaxing in the presence of someone who really likes you. So as we go through this celebration, think about faith as relaxing in the presence of God, who really, really likes you. This might help us see why faith is so important to living a life rooted in joy. Today, we're going to look at the faith shown in our readings. In our first reading, Moses sees a bush that's on fire. Then the burning bush calls his name. Does Moses run? No. He says, "Here I am." He doesn't question that it's God in the awesome bush, God speaking to him and guiding the future of his people. Then in our gospel, we have the story of the gardener who asks the owner to give the fig tree one more chance to bloom. "Just give me a year," he says. "I'm sure I can make it grow." In both readings, the characters believe in something bigger than themselves, something they can't see or touch or prove. That's faith. To believe that the seeds you plant today will ripen in the future, even if you can't imagine how. Margaret Renkel says, "Take your cue from the bluebirds, who have no belief in the future, but who build the future nevertheless, leaf by leaf and straw by straw, shaping their nests." As far as we know, birds aren't aware of the future, but still they prepare for it. They spend their lives creating new life. Think about the gardener in our gospel. Can he know all his work will make the fig tree bear fruit? No. During the year that he labors over the tree, does he ever doubt he will save it? Probably. We all doubt. Doubt goes hand in hand with faith. Even Jesus had doubt. So let's imagine for a second what happens after the gospel story ends. Say the gardener has been nurturing the fig tree for weeks, fertilizing it, watering it, trimming it, and it still looks pathetic. He could give up. Why shouldn't he give up? The owner gave up long ago. It does seem hopeless. Is he crazy? Why is he wasting his time with this silly little tree? That's doubt calling to him, whispering to him that there's no point in acting since his actions won't make any difference anyway. And in fact, the gospel doesn't tell us whether or not he saves the tree. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. The important thing is he's willing to try. Remember those bluebirds, making nests even though they can't know about the future? It's not just birds. None of us knows about the future. but still we can choose to act today. That's faith. Believing in something bigger than ourselves, believing that darkness will never put out the light, believing in rebirth. That's our Lenten challenge for this week. To do something loving today without knowing how it will matter tomorrow. Trust in yourself. Trust in God who really, really likes you. Practice faith. Today we have a story for you, The Hugging Tree, written by Jill Nymark and illustrated by Nicole Wong, about a little tree brought back to life by a gardener who believes. Our reader is Richard Dodson.
On a bleak and lonely rock, by a vast and mighty sea, grew a lonely little tree where no tree should ever be. How she got there no one knew. She sprouted stems and little leaves, as any tiny seed will do. There's hardly any dirt for me, no forest breeze, no birds, no bees, but I will do the best I can to make this rock my home. Her tiny roots pushed night and day, and bit by bit the rock gave way. A smidge, an inch, a foot, then two. She grew and grew and grew and grew. The ocean hugged the rocky shore. I like you near me, little tree. Let's keep each other company. Soft gold sunbeams kissed her crown, warm as honey pouring down. At night she raised her branches high to greet the moon up in the sky. I wax and wane, I ebb and flow, I cycle through from full to thin, and when I'm done I start again. That's how life is, you know. One summer noon, a pair of loons landed on her canopy. A pretty little tree, a sparkling sea. Shall we make this place our home and raise our baby chicks right here? The little tree warmed up with pride. She spread her branches high and wide. I'll be your home, she replied. And can you tell me if you've seen the forest where my family grew? We've built our nests in trees like you quite far from here. And so you blew many nights and many days. You blew on wind just like we do. They built their nest, they laid their eggs, and soon 2 baby chicks were born. Summer passed, autumn too. The little tree turned red and gold. Then winter came with howling winds and cutting cold that broke her boughs. The loons flew south, the sea all ice, the rock all snow, the moon was lost in thunderclouds. Mighty cliff, hold me tight, don't let me blow away. Little tree, with all my might I'll hold you close, night and day. Storms will come and storms will go. At last the sun melted the snow, But now the tree could not grow. The storm had torn her roots. The moon gazed down and softly said, "Sometimes we lose our way, but with some help we start again. That's how life is, you know." And soon the boy came running by, skipping stones into the sea. When he saw the little tree, he stopped and stared. He touched the tiny leaves. He felt the ragged roots. He shook his head and said, "I can bring you what you need. I can help you, little tree." A tree can't hug a boy. It has no hands or arms. But it can hug you with its heart, and that is just as deep and warm. Every day the boy came back carrying a full backpack. From the pack he took a tin and poured out rich brown earth. He packed the roots and tucked them in. He planted flowers round the tree and made a path for all to see. Now everyone will know that even on a granite cliff, a little tree can grow. And then he went to sleep and dreams the things that children dream. Now every day new people stop to rest beneath the little tree and dream the things we all dream. To love, to share, to give, to dare to grow just where we are. And to this very day they come. For on a splendid sunny rock, by a warm and bright blue sea, a great big hugging tree grows just where she was meant to be.
Like all of us sometimes, the little tree lost her way and needed someone who believed in her to help nurture her back to health. The boy, like the gardener in the gospel, saw her promise and gave her what she needed. His practice of faith brought the tree back to life and created a place of joy for a whole community. Practice faith.